I've been out here so many mornings casting and reeling for a striper. Come on, dude, give me one. I'm doing everything I possibly can to increase my chances of hooking into a striper this morning. Come on, baby, come on. I know you're out there. I just want one striper this year. Come on, give me a good one this year. I must have put out a couple thousand casts here on this beach in the last week. I don't know how many casts, a lot. But it's wearing my arms out. Just waiting for that big one to come along. Ooh, did you see just in front of us? That, my friends, was a big fish eating a little fish. Wow. There's a striper right in front of me. He's ours. Let's get him. Oh my God. Oh yeah. We got one. We got one. In this episode of Vince Goes Fishing, we're gonna fish hard. We're gonna get skunked again and again and again. We'll catch some fish along the way, and we'll see some really cool things. But I'm telling you this, I am not gonna stop fishing until I catch a big, striped bass. I'm Vincent Alexander, and to me, fishing is more than a fun recreation. Oh my God! It's about connecting with our human nature, our instincts to hunt, gather, and survive. I moved to the California coast so I could go fishing in my backyard 365 days a year. I'm learning about surf fishing, kayak fishing, all kinds of fishing. That's what I love, so that's what I do. Last year, my friend Ilya and I had some success with the striped bass. It was a thrilling experience. We will remember those moments forever. So in midwinter, when fishing was really slow, I heard a few stripers had recently been caught somewhere in Ventura, and I knew I needed to get in on the action. I know it's a super long shot to catch a striped bass in Ventura, but I figured if I just targeted this species day after day, at some point this year, I'd probably get lucky. Right there, and so the debris is collecting. I started by reading some articles online that basically told me to fish in low light conditions, look for baitfish, fish high current water, and to concentrate my fishing around freshwater inlets. And then finally, pray for a unicorn. So I jumped on Google Maps, satellite images, and looked for every freshwater outlet I could find. I found a number of rivers, creeks, and various outlets all up and down the coast. I spent January and February visiting all of these places just to scope them out at low tide and see what they were made of. I found pretty much all of these spots attractive, and I wonder what would happen if I put in the time at any one of these spots. But at the end of the day, I decided to focus my fishing close to home. That way I could fish very frequently without burning up too much gas on long drives. So after that, there was just one thing left to do. It was time to pound the sand and cast baits until my arms fell off. On this day, I saw a high tide of 6.3 feet predicted at 8 a.m. That means I could fish the incoming tide from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And if I'm in the mood, maybe stick around for another couple hours. I caught a couple good-sized yellowfin croaker on a jerkbait, but it wasn't the striper I was looking for. Alright, it's 8:30 a.m. The tide is at 6.1 feet. So it's come down 0.2 feet. It peaked at 6.3. Really high tide. I've been fishing for about 2.5 hours, and I caught 2 big yellowfin croaker, but I did not connect with the striped bass that I was after. After that, I caught this perch. It's a really nice reward for getting up early and putting in the effort. So I went home, fried that fish up, crispy and salty on the outside, juicy and sweet on the inside, and savored every bit of it as I daydreamed and talked to myself about catching a big striped bass. Along the way, I ran into this adorable baby sea lion. Since then, I've learned that when you see these little guys on the beach, they're napping, and they actually really need that sleep. Do not disturb them. Try to be quiet, not to wake or alarm them. They need this sleep for their well-being, and they can't sleep if they're worried about potential predators stalking them. Like, for example, a human being walking up close and staring. Could you sleep like that? high tide. 6:30 in the morning. Zipper's broken.
I just get really excited right before I start casting. My heart is racing. It happens every time. There's a big trough right here that I want to throw into a few times before I move on, just to give it a try. There could be a monster in there. Got my Kalisa 110. Give those monsters an opportunity to strike. Okay, in this second spot here, the water is just a little on the dirty side. I'm noticing, see all the debris that's just sitting right there, kind of slack? That slack water, the debris. I would say that would be a convergence of currents and creating a little bit of slack right there, and so the debris is collecting. The water gets dirty, but sometimes a little slack water could be good for fishing. So here's one disadvantage of the Kalisa that I've noticed. The damn hooks get wrapped around each other, and they're usually really easy to get off, but this time it's giving me some trouble. It's a challenge. All right, so it's taken me a while to realize this, but I'm just noticing that the water is extremely dirty. Look at those birds. Look at those birds, dude. They're working right in front of me, man. There's bait, baby, right where I'm casting too. That's so exciting. The water is pretty stained. Look how stained it is. It's like, kind of has a reddish hue to it. Hate to say it. I hope it's not red tide. But as stained as it is, I don't know if that's gonna be good for fishing. That's gonna make it kind of hard for fish to find your bait. So it's a good thing I'm using this bait that has a lot of action and flash and rattle. The Kalisa 110 here. Nothing's happening, no bites. The water's clean enough, but the fish aren't home. So I'm walking. I'm gonna walk over here and cast. I'm gonna go try a different stretch. That water looks good to me for some reason. I don't know why. It's flat. There's like no waves, no wind. I've never seen the water so slack right here before, where I'm standing. I've just never seen it this slack before. So there's no wind, no waves. So far the first two casts came up with a little bit of weed on them. So I'm hoping that it's not too dirty here. The water looks a little bit murky. All right, dirty cast number 3. We might be walking away here real soon. Walking down the beach, other spots to check in on. Let's give it one more cast. I can feel it wobbling initially. I also feel it touching bottom, so it might still be a little too shallow here. I think I got weed. I'm gonna walk. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. Okay, the second spot I just tried, I casted 4 times. I pulled up weed each time. I pay attention to how long the bait is wobbling for before it hits weed and stops wobbling. It's only a few seconds. So that means there's weed out there pretty far. There's no clean water to fish really. I'm gonna walk down the beach a little bit longer. Next spot, try to find some clean water so I can fish this lure for a while. If I can do that for a while, then I can go back to the spot I just came from, go see if the water's cleaned up then, work this bait some more. That would be my preference, to keep this bait going, not have to resort to the swim bait quite yet if I don't need to. So now I'm seeing what it looks like at 4 feet. It looks full. It definitely looks fishable. It looks like the water's well over the top of that hole. Might be the perfect depth for holding bait fish and pulling in a predator here and there. Let's see if the water's not too dirty. My bait is wobbling nicely. At the moment, still wobbling nicely. That's a very good sign. Hopefully the water's not too dirty. Well, oh my gosh, and it comes up clean. Beautiful. Let's see if we can get that going for a good 30 minutes here. 20 or 30 minutes right here in this spot. And then if no bites, I'll go back to the other spot and see if it's clean. I really don't want to lose this bait. Well, that's bad news. I just lost a 110. That sucks. Totally sucks. But when I walked over here, I saw Corbina. It didn't even spook too. It it did a circle and it was right in front of me, and then it sort of and then it swam off. I was like, whoa, dude. Corbina. That's the second one I've seen this year so far. March 1st, I just saw my second Corbina. I'm touching bottom and getting snagged, so I'm gonna try to keep it off the bottom until I get away from the rocks. I know there's sand on my side of the rocks, so now I'm in the sand, I'm slowing down and dragging on bottom. Once I'm in the sand, slow down and drag on bottom. Like one cast ago, a perch picked it up and shook its head a few times and then let go. So this is what I'm using. It's a Fish Bites Fight Club with a 3/8 ounce bullet, 5/0 swim bait. Oh, those are the rocks. I'm gonna try to stay up. I'm keeping my rod tip up and reeling a little bit faster. Now I'm trying to find the sand. Slowing down, feels smooth. I'm probably in the sand now. So now that I'm in the sand, I'm just gonna bring it through as slowly as possible, trying to stay in the strike zone as long as possible. I would not fish this spot with a drop shot because it's too rocky on the other side of the sand here, and you would just get snagged. So the Texas rig is the way to go right here. See, that's past the sand over the rocks over there, so I want to try to keep my rod tip high and just kind of keep reeling a little bit faster. I'm going to touch bottom and see what happens. Okay, I feel a rock. Not too bad. Now it feels, yeah, rock. Yeah, I got snagged there a little bit for a second. Still feeling rocks. Now maybe smooth. I think I'm in the sand right there. So if that's the sand, I'm gonna slow down. Almost kind of bait and wait. Okay, now I'm back in spot number 2. That was too weedy earlier for the Kalisa. I got the Texas rig on. So it should be no problem now. So far so good. I can't cast it quite as far with a 3/8 ounce as I can with the 5/8 ounce Kalisa, but still far enough. If they're out further and they're not coming in close, then I'm SOL. In that case, I do have a jig para that I could throw way out there, but that's probably gonna get snagged on that kelp out there. So I'm gonna try to avoid that and just fish with this for a while. No way, dude, I snagged my 3/8 ounce Texas rig. It's like really snagged pretty good too. I rarely lose these things, man. Oh, no way, I'm gonna lose it? Wow, can't believe it. Let's see. Oh, I think I still have it. Wow. Dude, these things, dude, those baits are invincible. These baits are invincible, dude. I never lose them. It's crazy. They rarely get snagged, and when they do, I don't lose them. I so rarely ever lose one of these. It's crazy. I changed spots because I fished in that one spot for about an hour and it didn't get a bite, and just decided I just felt like moving. So I'm trying a different spot, just like a few hundred feet down the beach. Still working that 1/2 ounce paddle tail Fight Club swim bait.
On this day, the waves were starting off really big in the morning, but the wind made it impossible to fish any other time of day. So my buddy Cam met me at the beach early in the morning and we got right to casting. We gotta put in that time to earn this fish.
Good morning. Here's my buddy Cam. We're fishing for the first time together. He's been messaging me and saying that he wants to go fishing really bad, super jonesing to go fishing. So here we are. The water temps have been cold lately. I got a little KVD jerkbait. Giving it about 10 casts so far. Nothing came up. I'm about to walk over here to my third little spot to the right. Man, look how pretty it is out here in the morning. The sky is pink. Got some birds flying around. We walked down the beach a couple hundred feet. Oh geez, I cast it way too high. Just total rainbowed that. Doing a slow retrieve, feeling for weed. It feels like weed. Spot, I think the spot's a little too weedy. I might have to walk down the beach, see if the water's clean down there. And then if it's not, I might just throw on a Texas rig. Or we have to get in the car and change beaches. I'd rather find some clean water right here if I can. Wow, dude, it is emptying out and then filling up. The waves are really big today, so the beach just empties out and then fills back up. Tries to knock me off my feet, you know? All right, that's weed. I think I'm done with this lure. I'm gonna walk down the beach. Just go see if the water's clean over there. Okay, I've had a few clean retrieves here in this spot. The water here is a lot cleaner. It's clean enough to fish. And I'm just gonna keep casting here for a while. I really don't know exactly what the structure looks like because I wasn't here at low tide yesterday. But recently when I've seen this spot, there was a very significant hole that had been created. All right, so we fished that spot for like a good 20-30 minutes. No bites. The water was like 50-50 dirty, clean. So it was fishable, but no bites. So we're walking back to the last spot we were just at. Let's see if the water's clean there, see if the fish are home yet. This guy to my left here that we're not partying with, but I noticed he was fishing on the beach. I noticed he was hooked up, reeling in a fish. He pulled up a striped bass. He actually just caught about a, I don't know, maybe 24-inch striped bass. So they're here. Really, really cool, man. That gave me a lot of hope. And I don't want to walk away from this. I want to keep fishing till I get one. All right, I decided to take a risk. I went ahead and put on my Lucky Craft 115. It's casting so nice. Oh my gosh, it just goes way out there. The tide is on its way out. Holy crap, it casts so far. I love these things. I love these lures, man. I just don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose this lure. I know there's rocks out there. All right, so the water is really a little too dirty for a jerkbait. And as the tide gets lower, and my bait is diving, it's getting closer and closer to the rocks on bottom. And I do not want to lose my 115 today. So the tide's gone out enough now that I'm gonna call it quits with the 115 so I don't risk losing it on a rock. And I'm gonna switch over to a Texas rig because I saw striped bass today. So I'm go for one of those stripers. Here, you'll notice every time I bring up the Texas rig, there's no weed on it. Check it out. Bam, there's the bait, no weed on it. That's the fourth cast in a row. It's like night and day. So the water is looking kind of murky today. You take a look at it. It's not crystal clear. That's one thing I'm noticing here. This Texas rig is doing a great job navigating the dirty water. Very few times do I have to actually pick weed off of it. The tide's way lower than it was, so I think it's about time to get out of here, actually. Fish from 6 to something. Really? My Texas rig? Oh, got it. See? Man, these things are great. That's a 1/2 ounce Texas rig right here, so it's gonna snag a little more frequently because it's heavier. But if you just keep it moving, which is what I'm doing, I'm keeping it moving because I'm trying to catch a striper over here. So I'm trying to swim it through the water column, keep it just off the bottom. Then you really won't snag much at all. I've been out here so many mornings casting and reeling for a striper. Come on, dude, give me one. Just give me one really nice one, dude. Come on, this is really important for my year, you know? I gotta get one nice big striper under my belt for the year. If I could do it this early in the year, that would be so cool. Okay, I think I'm retrieving a little too fast. Knock that weed off there. See that? You just jerk it through the water a few times and it comes right off. I love the Texas rig for that reason. This is like a big thing, you know, to get a big striper. Gotta get one this year. They're a lot harder to find out here on the West Coast, especially this far south. On the East Coast, you can get into schools of them, or even up north. around San Francisco. You can get into big schools of them. Out here, it's a lot less likely to find one. That guy on the beach today, he was only fishing for 20, 30 minutes and he caught that striper. It just blew my mind, man. All the time I put in out here, fishing the same baits, the 110. There's a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of luck involved. And so all you can do is keep your line in the water. Just keep pulling that, just like pulling slots, you know, just keep pulling, keep trying.
So while I did see another fisherman land a striper just 50 feet to my left, I unfortunately struck out again. Today we have a nice 5.5 foot tide at 7:14 a.m. The waves are looking moderate, and we've got to get all our fishing in before noon when the wind is really going to start whipping. Catch or no catch, let's put in some time and wait for that big striper to come to us.
Okay, it's 5:30 a.m. and I'm on the water casting. I got my jig para in the water. Okay, I switched over to the Lucky Craft 115 because the jig para, I was just afraid it was gonna get snagged if I fished it too slow. So I was reeling it in really fast to keep it off the bottom, and I didn't like the presentation at that speed. I really think I'm gonna save those jig paras for totally sandy beaches where I can slow down and drag them on bottom. So here today with lots of rocks in the area and wanting to give them something with lots of action and a slower presentation, as slow as possible anyways, as always, just about, I decided to go with 115. Lucky Craft 115. If I had a 110, I might put that on, just because I'm avoiding rocks. But the 115 works there. And I'm noticing that the waves are not breaking to my left. There's a spot where the waves are not breaking, and that's where I saw that guy catch a striper yesterday. So I'm gonna go walk over there and cast into that spot. Now today is Wednesday, March 10th. And I did get a notification on my phone this morning as I woke up that said temperatures are gonna be significantly cooler. So temperatures, well, the weather's dropping in temp, and we'll just see. We'll see if we catch a fish today is all. I don't think the striper care too much. I think if there's food in the water, then they'll be eating. All right, guys, this is some serious, intense striped bass hunting right here. All right, I feel some plants. That's not a fish. It's just so serious, man. This has got to be my 7th time out here, at least. Early morning sessions in pursuit of a striper. It hasn't happened yet. I'm throwing extremely long casts. I'm rolling my bait as slowly as I possibly can. I'm just trying to keep that rod tip wobbling so I know that the lure is wobbling. Need to feel that vibration. I'm doing everything I possibly can to increase my chances of hooking into a striper this morning. I'm pulling up a little weed on every cast. That's a terrible sign. We're hoping the water's not too dirty to fish here, but I'm just gonna keep fishing even if it is. Just keep doing battle with it. And at some point, hopefully the water will clear up. We'll get a nice clean cast, and we'll get us the strike that we're looking for. And we'll get the strike that we're looking for. Come on, baby, come on. I know you're out there. I just want one striper this year. Come on, give me a good one this year. God, I would love to catch one of those 3-footers, 36-inch, even 48-inch. They're out there. They have been caught out here in Ventura. It has been done. That's what I'm really fishing for. Excellent news. I'm seeing huge pelicans dive bombing offshore. That means there are real schools of bait swimming around out there. Really exciting. I hope some of that bait is pushed in here by the big swell today. We've got a really big swell today if you haven't noticed. It'll be going down, getting smaller as the day progresses, but we're starting the day off with a massive swell. More good news. I just saw a fish jump right out there in the surf within casting range. There's fish in the water, guys. There are fish in the water. Oh my God, stripers are. Flew right into my line. I've got a seagull on my line. I don't want to drown the poor thing. I've got to get him in and get him off my line. This sucks. Well, don't worry. I'm gonna help you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Almost got you. Almost good to go. My lure's coming up with a little bit of weed on it on just about every cast. Kind of bummer. A little on the dirty side. But I'm just gonna keep pulling it off and casting and reeling. Just keep casting and cranking, baby. Also, I want to get my rod tip down at first and then bring it up when it gets closer to me. I know there's got to be a striper out there somewhere. I must have put out a couple thousand casts here on this beach in the last week. I don't know how many casts, a lot, but it's wearing my arms out. But I just got to keep on fishing until I catch that big striper. Well, I'm gonna give up, guys. Wednesday, March 10th. My arm is tired. It's amazing how tired, how sore my arm is.
Here we go again, a nice high tide just under 5.5 feet at 7:39 a.m. The swell is looking small all morning long. That makes fishing easy and a little safer too. Wind looks moderate all day today, so who knows? Maybe I'll just keep on fishing until I catch. Another thing I noticed is that today we'll be fishing just 3 days before a full moon, and something about that gives me a really good feeling.
Well, here we are. Boy, it looks different. It's always so interesting to see the way the structure looks on any given day. Look at that high tide, man, all the way up to the high tide line. Look at this big lip right here. Start casting and see if the water's clean. So it's high tide and I'm targeting stripers. And so I just putting in the time fishing these high tides right here in this spot every chance I get. Anytime there's a high tide in the early morning at sunrise, I'm out here for a couple hours putting in the time, just hoping that one will come along. Gonna keep working for it. So far, all of my first 15 casts have come up a little bit dirty, except for that very last cast. Number 15 came up with just the tiniest amount of weed. It was almost clean. Let's see if cast number 16 comes up clean. If it doesn't, then I'd say I'm gonna be going Texas rig here pretty soon. Let's see here. How does this look? A little bit of weed. I think I'm gonna be going Texas rig here. So there was this big splash right in front of me and I thought, oh my God, was that a monster fish? What was that? And I thought, no, it's just the currents or something. And then a few seconds later, I saw a big seal pop his head out and he was swimming away. So he came all the way up here next to my toes and then turned around and took off. Maybe he followed my lure in. As soon as he saw me, he spooked. Picking up weed at about the halfway mark. I feel my rod tip wobbling pretty much the whole way in, and then all of a sudden it gets heavier about halfway in, and that's where I pick up the weed. I think I'm gonna go Texas rig because those fish could be right in that second half right there. Picking up weed at about the halfway mark. I feel my rod tip wobbling pretty much the whole way in, and then all of a sudden it gets heavier about halfway in, and that's where I pick up the weed. I think I'm gonna go Texas rig because those fish could be right in that second half right there. All I got are these little Z-mans. They're too small, a little on the small side, but it looks like a little bait fish. Who knows? Maybe that's the size of the bait that's swimming around right now. I don't know. And I'm gonna swim that through the column. I'm gonna keep that off the bottom. I'm using a 1/2 ounce because I want to cast a little further. And I don't mind swimming a little faster for the stripers. A little more action. I'm gonna try to swim it through the water column. Keep it off the top, off the bottom, right through the center. And it's casting like a dream. Casting really nicely. There we go. If I feel the bottom, I'll speed up. If I don't, I'll slow down. Little shake, 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 shake here and there, just to get any weed off. I know there's probably weed at about the halfway mark there. About halfway in. But look, coming up clean, both casts so far. Okay, so far I've been having a little bit of trouble with this plastic. As you can see, it is pulled down the hook. This little Z-Man is pulling down the hook. I'm not sure why it's doing it quite so much. I know the hook is way too big for the plastic. I wish I had bigger plastics this morning. I do have one other model on me. I can switch over to that one. It'll probably cooperate a little better in this situation. It might be a better choice. So I might be switching my plastic up to a slightly larger bait. It is a little on the bigger side too. Yeah, I think that's a better bait for this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on real quick. Something about the way that it casted even. This plastic is definitely a lot firmer. It's like twice as firm as the other bait. I like that nice soft bait. Usually when I'm Texas rigging, I'm finessing with 3/8 ounce. And that soft plastic is perfect for Texas rigging because you get the hook set. This plastic is a little too firm. This is a cheap one I got at Walmart. So I generally don't prefer it for Texas rigging. But in these situations, in this situation right here, it's weedless enough. The hook tip isn't even buried at all. And I know stripers, they don't exactly lip their bait. They're aggressive eaters. They're gonna strike it hard, so I don't even have to worry about the hook set. They're gonna bite it. Yeah, it's coming up clean. It's swimming nice, it's casting nice. I'm in the zone. It's time to just slow down, turn off my brain, and just cast and crank. Just wait for that fish to come along. Just swimming through the water column. Just waiting for that big one to come along. I'm writing lyrics this morning, and it's a beautiful morning. It's overcast for the most part. It's cloudy where I'm at. All right, try a little bit to the left. Just straight grinding at a medium speed. Coming up clean on every cast. I'm so happy. Now I feel like I'm really fishing. Ooh, did you see just in front of us? That, my friends, was a big fish eating a little fish. That was exciting. And my bait picked up weed right as I passed through that spot. Oh my gosh, dude. There's a big predator in the water, and I can tell you, it's probably a striped bass. Oh baby. And he was right in front of us. Not far at all. 10 or 20 feet in front of us. That, if I just say, dude, that looked like a striped bass. I'm not even kidding you. Just the dorsal fin of that thing. Wow. There's a striper right in front of me. He's ours. Let's get him. I just went into full-on hunter, stalker mode. Punched down, staying low. I don't want the fish to see me. I believe that there's a fish in the water, and I believe he'll eat my bait if I just stay low and keep casting. Twitch, 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 twitch. I gotta keep that bait presentable. And I don't really want it to be twitching when he sees it. I just want to get the weed off real quick. Seems like it's gotten weedier. It's a good thing I went with this bait. This bait is doing a great job of navigating it. Looks like the tip got exposed here. Just gonna kind of hide it a little bit. Nice and easy, just letting the rod do all the work there. As soon as it hits the water, retrieving, steadily, slowly. Wow, am I dragging on sand? You know something? I think there's more sand on the beach. I think a lot of sand has come in recently. I wonder if I'm actually dragging on sand out there, because I'm not feeling rocks. I'm gonna slow it way down now. Let's get this weed off of here. And I need to give it some more twitches, see? If it's doing that, I need to twitch it a little more. Definitely hide the tip of that hook a little bit in the plastic, just a little bit. Hopefully that does not cost us a hook set. But it's necessary because the water is quite dirty. This thing can navigate it. I know this bait can navigate this dirty water if I just work with it. Twitch, twitch, twitch here and there. And a nice slow. I'm gonna try to find the bottom. I'm slowing down. Maybe that's the bottom I'm feeling right there. That must be the bottom I'm feeling right there. Wow, you know, it feels kind of smooth. I must be on the bottom. And it feels smooth. We have got a sandy bottom here for the first time in a long, long, long time, in like a year. I think the sand is back. That's so awesome. That's so, 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 so awesome. This is gonna open wide open for perch sometimes. This spot is gonna be the spot for perch sometimes. Let's get a striper today. I just noticed one of my good luck birds out there. One of those black diving birds. They're a black diving bird with some white on them. When I see one of those birds, I tend to catch a nice big fish. I think they're eating bait. I think there's bait in the water. That would be perfect if there's some bait in the water. Oh man, I just picked up some weed or something. Got kind of heavy there for a second. Gave me a little bit of a thrill. I had a big clump of weed on there for a second, then it shook off. Gotta love that Texas rig, man. We're fishing the weed. We're fishing dirty water like a champ right now. Seriously, coming up clean most of the time. This is as good as it gets right here in dirty water. Fishing dirty water takes focus. It takes so much more technique. You can't relax, you gotta stay focused. You're trying to swim it through the water column at a moderate speed, and then giving it a shake every once in a while. Twitch, 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 twitch. But you don't want to be twitching it all the time because it's not very presentable that way. You want a nice steady pace for a presentation. And clean. That's awesome. We're fishing dirty water like a champ right now. And if we catch a striper, that's gonna have something to do with it. I looked to my left and I just saw a seam in the water, in the current. And this water right in front of me is the most slack water. Like it's the head of a rip or something. It's so slack right here. Like everything converges right here. So I just stopped what I was doing and walked straight for it and started casting immediately. Straight into it. We'll see if this just isn't the spot right here. I think one overlooked variable in the fishing strategy here is the frequency of cast. You know, the more casts you make, the more fish you catch. So the less you're fussing and doing things like this, pulling weed off by hand, which you usually don't ever have to do with the Texas rig. There is the rare occasion like that one. But if you just shake, it'll just shake all that right off. So if you can just get your bait back up and make your next cast as fast as possible, you're wasting less time. You're spending more time in the water swimming your bait. That's the point. So how fast can you land your bait and then return it for another cast? Sometimes it's just gonna grab it as soon as it sees it. And sometimes it's gonna chase it all the way up and grab it right in front of you. And then all of a sudden go for a run. I've seen it happen. Oh my God. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We got one. 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 All right, take it easy, Vincent. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude. I have been coming around these parts day after day. It doesn't look like a striper. It looks more like a shark. What is that? Oh, it's a big striper. It's a big striper. Oh, it's a big striper. It's a big striper, and He must be hooked pretty well. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, he's getting tired. He's getting tired. I don't think he's got another run left in him. I think now we just let the waves do its thing. Yeah, let him tire himself out. Oh my God, my heart is racing. My heart is racing. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. Look at my rod. Look at that baby bend. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch for the fish. Watch for the fish. Right there, right there. We're gonna land him. We're gonna land him. I got it. I got it. I've been fishing for this so long, dude. I've been fishing for this. Gentle, 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 gentle. Nice and easy. He's tired. I'm tired. Wow. Oh, this is gonna take a while. This is a big one. This is not a small striped bass. This is a big one. He's going for another walk. Oh my God, oh my God. He's tired. He's tired. He's tired. My heart is racing. I'm tired. Oh my God, oh my God. He's walking me down the beach. Wow. You know what? That spot had a lot of current, and I read an article that said look for current when you're looking for stripers. And so I said, you know what? I don't usually fish in current. I usually try to avoid it. Let's stop and fish right here. Let's fish right here in this current. And I fished the current, and this fish surprised me. Okay, I'm ready to land this fish. Is this fish ready to land? On the next wave, he's coming home. He's coming home on the next wave. There it is. There it is. She's mine. It's mine. My fish. My fish. My fish. My fish. My fish. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's a nice big one. I did it. I fished for this all month long, guys. All month long I fished for this fish. All month long I fished for this. This month, I've been fishing for this fish. March. In February, I came out here and I started chasing a striper. Today was an absolute phenomenal level 10 day of fishing. I adapted to the conditions. I saw the conditions online, on the apps. I knew it was gonna be a good morning for it. I adapted to the conditions because there was too much weed in the water. So I went Texas rig. I used the right amount of weight too, a 1/2 ounce. Was perfect for casting and swimming at the right speed. So that navigated the weed really well. And then I changed my approach. I stopped fishing the slack water and I headed right for the current. Totally different approach, the opposite of what I've been doing for a month. I got out from in the cove and I went out onto the point. And I said, wow, there's a lot of current right here. It's sweeping really hard. And I remembered what I read online, look for current. So I fished it, and it happened in a few minutes. Whoa. I did it. They're not easy to catch out here. I fished all month for this fish, all of the month of March. I started in February, chasing a striper. Today was a phenomenal day of fishing. It was too weedy for the jerkbait, so I switched over to the Texas rig. 1/2 ounce was the perfect amount of weight for casting and retrieving at the right pace. I kept shaking the weed, just retrieving and shaking. There was a lot of weed, but I just kept shaking it and retrieving. And I was getting some good fishing in. Like 8 out of 10 casts were clean with the Texas rig and the right technique. And then I changed my approach. I went for current. I got out of the slack water. I went out on a point, right where the current was flowing through the trough. I fished that trough where the current was flowing really hard. Bam, got this one. Let's measure it. (8:20 a.m.) It was a 4.8 foot tide. So it was just after high tide. It was just starting to come back down. So it peaked at about 5.5, and then it was down at 4.8 when this guy bit. But conditions were good today because it warmed up. The weather was getting warmer and warmer and warmer every day. And then all of a sudden this morning, there was a little bit more of a cold front and a low pressure system came in. I figured that's the time to get them right there. Also, another point about my strategy today is that I noticed that I was fishing the same spot. Like I would come out here and just stand in the same spot where I've caught striped bass in the past. And today I decided not to do that because I had seen fish caught to my left and I suspected that they might be to my right. So I decided to just start walking the beach and fish the whole thing. So I decided to walk all the way to the right, and then I would start casting slowly and making my way to the left. Well, as I was walking out there to the right, I noticed there was a whole bunch of current. There's this one spot with a whole bunch of current. So basically what was happening is the water was coming around this point and then washing into a trough. So I stopped at that point and started fishing all that really heavy current where it's washing into the trough. And I started making my way to the left, and I only went left about 15 feet. And on about 4 or 5 casts into that area, bam, got him. My line was casting great today because I put a new top shot of 30-pound braid on last night. So my spool is full, casting like a champ. All right, time to scale it, gut it, and get it ready to get home and start cooking. The victory walk. The victory walk. You get to walk back to your car with your fish. I did it, 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 I did it. I'm leaving the beach right now. And this time I didn't get skunked. I didn't get skunked today. I caught the striped bass that I was searching for a month. A month ago, I came out here and started fishing for this fish. And it's not the best time of the year exactly. The water's been cold, but I just kept coming back and I just wanted that fish so bad. I was just like, dude, no, I can't go perch fishing. I told myself, go perch fishing. The water's cold, the perch don't care so much. You'll catch some perch. I was like, no, dude, I gotta keep fishing for that striper. I gotta keep putting in the time because when he comes by, I wanna be there, I wanna be ready. So I just kept putting in the time for that striper. But once I caught that fish, I decided to put in another hour. I fished till 9:30, put in another hour, but I didn't get another bite.
I can't believe it's done. I did it. I did it. It's done. I did it. It's done. I did it.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, we got one. I fished for like a month, like all month trying to catch this fish. We got one. We got one, we got one, we got one. All right, take it easy, Vincent. It took me about a month. I've been fishing for this fish for about a month out here. Finally got him today. Oh, it's a big striper. It's a big striper. Because it's weedless. My heart is racing. Oh my God. Had to adapt to the conditions and stuff. You know, there was weed in the water. It was hard to fish. Look at my rod. Look at that baby bend. Texas rig swim bait. See plastic worm hook? We're gonna land him. We're gonna land him. I got it. Nothing slides through the weed like a bullet weight. I've been fishing for this for so long, dude. So much fun sharing this moment with strangers. Nice and easy. He's tired. I'm tired. Oh, this is gonna take a while. This is a big one. This is not a small striped bass. Right here in the beach, right here in the six. Oh my god, oh my god. Started in February fishing for a striped bass. Oh my god, he's walking me down the beach.
This what you caught it on?
Yeah, swim bait. Okay, I'm ready to land this fish. Is this fish ready to land? The water was a little dirty today and this got the job done. He's coming home on the next wave. There it is. There it is. He's mine. He's mine. My fish. My fish. My fish. My fish. My fish. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's a nice big one. Wow, 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 wow. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Stay in touch. Subscribe by email. Visit casurffishing.com. Get your very own CSF Striper t-shirt at deathbyhook.com. Get a 15% discount at sierraslammers.com. Use coupon code VinceGoesFishing15.